girls, Gallifrey Forever 97. Today, so I'm going to be ranking all the episodes of Series 11, including Resolution, which I guess is its own kind of New Year's special, but I'm going to class it as it's Series 11. So we're ranking all 11 episodes of 2018 and 2019. My real thoughts on the series, it was a pretty good, decent series, I thought. It set out what it wanted to do, obviously introducing new female Doctor, which it achieved that. It was also very kind of fresh and new, obviously it didn't rely on the classic series, which previous series had done, so it did that. There are episodes that do really stand out, and obviously like the top stuff, so but there were some really bad ones, I thought, some of the worst episodes in the new series, in all honesty. It was a real mixed bag. It was very one extreme to the other. There is stuff that I would improve on for Series 12 for sure, and I may even do a video on that. Please like and comment if you'd like to see me do a video of what I would see as my ideal Series 12. But anyway, here we go. At number 11, we have the Saranga Conundrum. Yeah. This episode is just bad, in my opinion. Really bad. It was just boring. I thought the acting was pretty wooden from the supporting cast. It was just a mess. I really thought it was a mess, and I was just watching it through the episode, and I was just slowly my life force was being dried from me. What I find with the Christian Will's episodes is there's so much exposition, and it's so sort of contrived, and it really has to be explained to like each and every little point, and the whole story has to come to a stop. It was obviously a kind of story Doctor Who's done many times before, like space under siege thing, you're running down corridors, which he did obviously perfectly sum up back in the 1980s.
It could have been slightly better written. Not only that, but it was also very cliched. It was very routine, running up and down corridors, and it was perhaps a little too routine Doctor Who, very much what the audience is expecting. It's not really very challenging for them to watch.
Oh, this is just too good.
Yeah, the plot's bland. And the thing is, the Pating and the pregnant man were probably my favourite bits about the episode. So everything else is just, The one photo I like is the Doctor going on like rampage mode, and when she's just woken up, and she has that some realisation. I thought that was a really nice kind of Doctor moment. Apart from that, it was just really clunky, unengaging, kind of lifeless story, which honestly he sent me to sleep. Number 10, the Battle of Ranskoor Avkolos, the series finale, where all the stakes are meant to be at its highest, and this one just did not deliver. It was really weird. I watched it the first time, and I did like it, and I watched it straight after, and I just completely lost out of it. I was just, kind of like a woken up thing, like, oh my god, this is really bad. There are so many ideas thrown in, and they are never picked up on. They got this thing with the planet, which has got this thing which will mess with your mind. Never really touched on at all. That would have been really cool if we got some like psycho thing, and that was just awful. This is kind of meant to be like a character stake story, obviously the return of Tim Shaw, which I think they butchered. I really liked him in the Woman Who Fell to Earth. I thought really nice opening character. It would have been nice to see him return, but as this big finale thing, and then he just did these really generic speeches. It's just a shame really, because I think the actor does a stellar job, but the writing is not there. It really falls into quite a generic villain role. The rest of it, obviously is kind of Graham and Ryan's story coming to a head, which, to be honest, I think the episodes before and after this do a much better job. It's a bit weird, as this is meant to be an episode that is sort of closing off their arc, but obviously it takes you away that there's a way better job with Graham's character, and obviously Ryan has a much better arc in Resolution. See, the beginning, it's just kind of like walking on this planet, talk, nothing's happening. That goes on for like half an hour, and as it kicks in, it starts to become this generic thing about Earth being destroyed. The arcs were pretty okay. Quite caught the powers what they did, but the woman character, she just kept flipping on and off, sort of being like, oh, I'm with Tim Shaw. Oh, I'm like this.
Hey, can I talk to you for a second?
Yeah, hey.
Hey, I came up with a really great idea, dude.
Yeah?
I'm gonna play both sides.
Why would you tell me that?
Should I not have?
Probably shouldn't, because if you're trying to keep a secret from me, well, now I know.
Should I tell them?
No, I don't think you should tell either side, because if you're trying to play both sides and they both know, you're not playing anybody.
What should I do now?
I don't give a shit. Why are you here?
The other one was pretty good. He was in Wizard vs. Aliens back on, I can't remember the character's name. But yeah, he was pretty good. Yeah, it just didn't work as a finale. It was just quite a bland episode. And they tried to do finale steak and it just kind of fell flat on its face. Number 9, we have arachnids in the UK. Spiders going around Sheffield. Really kind of creepy realisation of the spiders. I thought they were really cool. I do enjoy it in parts, and I know a lot of people put this as last on many of their ranking lists, but I don't find it too bad actually. I find the more comedic side of the Trump style character, who literally is a parody of Trump, like literally there's no subtlety at all. It's just, yeah, straight in your face.
Why don't you do what normal people do? Get a gun, shoot things like a civilized person.
Well, number one, I'm not stupid, okay? I can tell you that right now. Number two, I'm not stupid. I'm not stupid.
The scientist woman didn't leave much of an impression. She was literally just science exposition. I like Yaz's family. It's a shame we didn't see more of them actually in the series. Of course, Graham gets a storyline obviously within the house, which kind of like mini side plot, which I enjoyed. Apart from that, the ending is just so contrived. It was a really difficult decision for me between this episode and the one on at number 8, because it was really difficult to find which places to go because what aspects I like more of it. But yeah, with this one, yeah, it was just fine. It was just a bit silly with the ending. That kind of really did bog it down. Writing wise, it didn't really go anywhere. Love the Stormzy reference. I know a lot of people find it quite cringy. And of course, really nice to see at the end them all sort of like deciding to go fully on the journeys with dots. So that was really nice. But yeah, it was just meh for me. It wasn't bad, I don't think. It was just meh. At number 8, we have the Ghost Monument. I think the only reason why this episode's a bit fair is the beautiful last 5 minutes with the TARDIS being introduced. I really enjoyed the space characters, thought they were a lot of fun. Visually, yeah, really, really nice. It's a shame that the guy who organised this race across space didn't get more screen time. I thought the rags, I thought they're a really cool design, really well realised, really creepy, and the voices were too. Yeah, the race stuff itself, I kind of put a down on me with this episode.
And now, here they are, the most daredevil group of daffy drivers to ever whirl their wheels in the wacky races, competing for the title of the world's wackiest racer.
The opening scene's amazing, and there's some really nice set pieces. The beginning and the end of this episode is like the best parts. The middle's just a bit meh, there's sort of also trying to get to the Ghost Monument, which obviously is the TARDIS. So yeah, I think that's why this is slightly more better than Arachnids in the UK. So yeah, number 8, the Ghost Monument. Number 7, the Witchfinders. The highlight of this episode is Alan Cumming, who plays King James. Honestly, really brightens up the scenes he's in. I really love the Doctor's speech to King James.
I can show you everything if you stop being afraid of what you don't understand. If you trust me.
Yes! Yes!
I really liked the mud plot, and I thought that was really good until the reveal of the Morax. It's kind of a mystery thing, and I do really like it up until that point. And then literally in the Morax river happens, it's just this generic monster, which is a shame because that kind of mystery goes then, and then re-watching it, you kind of know it is the Morax. So it was a good setup. And I really like King James, but the ending, just generic Doctor Who really. But for the most part, is a pretty decent episode. The weakest historical, might I add, because the other two, as you'll see later on this list, are just spectacular. This series kind of took the historicals to a whole new avenue, and this felt like kind of one of the older series ones, which is kind of a bit a shame because it's obviously the last one of that series, so kind of took a step back. But no, I did enjoy it on the whole, and I really liked King James, and I really hope to see him return as a side character. Overall, enjoyable historical story with a poor generic ending. Number 6, Kerblam. I feel this is very much the most Russell T Davies-esque stories we've had in a while. I really enjoyed the concept of the episode. Obviously a satire on warehouses, and obviously it's a shame they didn't pull more on the Ryan connection with that actually. That would have been really nice. However, I really enjoyed this one. It's a real good adventure. I like the supporting characters, they've all got their little quirks. It's kind of this mystery going throughout, but they're likeable characters, so you're kind of invested in kind of what happens and who's behind this. And obviously when that twist happens, it elevates the story. The robots were pretty good design. They really are quite creepy in some scenes. And also the twist of the bubble rat, I thought that was ingenious. There's a really nice sort of gag at the end.
Don't push this button. because that will set off the bomb immediately and we'll all be dead.
I'm Groot.
No!
My only cry would probably be Lee Mack didn't get more of a pivotal role. As I said, I love Lee Mack as a comedian. It's a shame for him to not have as much screen time. The scene when they're going down the chutes, I don't think was great. I think they could have cut that. That was just like kind of padding, I guess. It didn't visually work, I don't think, for me. The CGI wasn't quite realised. Compared to what the series has been doing, the CGI this series has been stellar. Really fun, Rusty Davies guest story with likeable characters and some really great twists to keep you on the edge of your seat. Number 5, The Woman Who Fell to Earth. Jodie's debut story, introducing this whole new cast. This episode really sets out the tone for the series. Obviously it's introducing Jodie Whittaker's Doctor, which I think it does as gracefully as it can.
No pun intended.
It doesn't pull too much focus on that. There's obviously this first female Doctor. It just kind of does it as a normal regeneration story, which is what it should do, and gratefully so. Tim Shaw, absolutely brilliant. Love him in this one. It's a real sort of creepy, simple villain for that opening story to have that threat, but allow the room for the Doctor and these new characters to get their screen time, to be introduced to the show. This obviously episode features Dominic Gray's, obviously it has a shocking end, which is a real blow. Really dark, and it took me by surprise when I watched it, and it was a real emotional gut punch. But it sets up the characters. Obviously it's very important for certain characters, but you know, it kind of binds them all together. Really nice introduction story to Jodie's Doctor. The villain was really good. The plot's really snappy. It always keeps you on toes. And the third act on the cranes, really well shot. Amazing scale. It's like a Legopolis done as a movie. Overall, really good introduction to all the characters and the Doctor. Yeah, really good start to the series and to bring in new audiences. So yeah, all round, really good start. Number 4, we have Resolution, the New Year's Day special. The worst kept secret of having the Daleks back, well, a Dalek. And this really enforced what the Daleks are. This Dalek's been on Earth for so many years, it rebuilds itself, so it's a unique new design. Chris Chibnall really understands what the Daleks are, how they're threatening, and it's honestly the most badass we've seen them in so many years.
Wow.
Really giving vibes of that first series with Eccleston, where you've got the Dalek just being a Dalek. Sounds quite simple, but really understands what they are, their mindset. As soon as he comes back into his casing, he just obliterates everything. That's the last 20 minutes. But before that, we get a really unique take on the Dalek out of its shell and taking over one of the characters. And you see it really deranged, and it's really nice when you get that struggle with her and Dalek. So that was really good. The side plot of this episode obviously has Ryan's dad, which was slowly been teased throughout the series, the return of Ryan's dad. Pacing one really slows down and really speeds up too quick because you're kind of Dalek stuff. And it's just like, nope, let's spend 5 minutes having a really powerful, nice scene. Obviously, it kind of just sets up the tension at the end for when the Dalek latches on to Ryan's dad. So that's really kind of qualm with it, but otherwise, it's such an exciting, badass episode of Doctor Who. There are like episodes obviously higher on this list, but this is probably one of the most enjoyable ones. There's a real awkward scene obviously with the family, which didn't kind of work. That's the most annoying thing actually. In the Battle around the Square of Kodos, when the Earth's being threatened, they show no shots of Earth. I think that would be really good. Maybe shown, you know, Yaz's family or something like that. But in this, they do it, and it doesn't work because it's just his random family, and it's a really bad joke that kind of worked with Ryan saying about what a monster for turning off the Wi-Fi. But yeah, it just felt a bit out of place. However, yeah, this one's the perfect episode for New Year's Day. It's the most exciting episode of the series. I think the pacing could have been done better with the two storylines going on. Apart from that, no, it reintroduced the Daleks in a badass way. Jodie gets some really great scenes. All the characters have some really funny dialogue. So yeah, this is the most enjoyable episode of Series 11. In the top 3 now, at number 3, we have Demons of the Punjab. This is a Yaz-focused story, one of the rare things that happens in this series with Yaz. And this isn't really Yaz-focused, this is more about the Indian partition, really. We just have to see it through Yaz's family's eyes. It kind of tackles the real people in the Indian partition event. It just looks at it through this real family who has a divide with the two brothers. So it looks at it in a really unique way. The music in this episode is sublime. You can tell they've got different artists to come in and do the music, and the Doctor Who theme tune. The music is just on point, and that's probably the best thing about this episode in my eyes. But also the acting is really good, and the threats will obviously lack of. Runs the trend of what the series has been doing, being like, this is not the real villain, haha. It reminds me a bit like Wars of Mars, where it literally is time against the Doctor, and once she obviously meets up with them and she knows she can't do anything. It's a real nice drama. The two historicals, obviously Demons and Rosa, are great telly. They're really sublime telly. I think this series has focused very much on the human drama, political issues, which obviously were very important in those times and still relevant today. And it reintroduces stuff. Well, I didn't know much about the Indian partition until I watched the episode, to be honest. But yeah, it's got a really good plot, some really great character moments, and really gets to show off their acting style, showcasing to us this disastrous event through real people. So yeah, amazing music scores. The visuals go with that really well, showcasing how real people are affected by these tragedies, and it really shone a light on an event in human history which should be remembered for what disastrous thing happened and why that shouldn't happen again, you know. So some really lovely themes, really well executed, brilliant writing, yeah, just a really powerful historical story. And at number 2 we have Rosa. This showcases the story of Rosa Parks, played by Vinette Robinson, who was in Christian was episode 42, who I met at FCC this year. This episode, wow, really hits you in the feels. I learned so much from this episode. I knew about Rosa Parks, I was never taught in school. I looked a bit up online before watching this episode, and I hope if they do history lessons, I really do hope they show them this episode. I think it'll be really good. This and Demons, actually, I think it'll be good if they do stuff on Rosa Parks as a historical figure, and obviously the Indian partition. Unlike Demons, obviously it kind of shows what the surroundings are, and I think it needs to do that. But obviously this is Doctor Who. It really does push the boundaries of the shock factor. When Ryan gets slapped for handing back that woman her glove when she drops it, it's a shocking scene, and it's a real kind of like, oh my god, because even though the characters are still kind of going through this thing of being like, oh my god, the universe, this is amazing. And when they go in that bar as well, and they're like, oh, we don't serve Mexicans, to Yaz, and she's just like, hell no, to the no. It is a real nice kind of history lesson. I don't mind the villain. I thought he is pretty good. Obviously the link to Storm Cage. He basically obviously is just a racist person, and he happens to be an alien. So he puts enough threat kind of meddling with time, which I thought was really good. But it allows the story to breathe and explore the themes of the time through the eyes of the companions. When they realise that they have to be part on the bus, it becomes really real for them, and obviously for the audience as well. We obviously get to see it through the eyes of the companions just being distraught. But it's a fun story as well. It's a real fun adventure, and I think this episode really gets the companion balance of each of them all got something to do, and they've all got something to bring to the table of this episode. Like Graham gets to ride the bus, Yaz gets to do some police work, sort of investigate and research stuff. So it's kind of the pinnacle of the balance of the companions. This episode, just a really emotional, real raw episode of Doctor Who, one of the best historical stories of the new series, in all honesty. There's some really powerful messages. It got people talking. It was just a really great episode. It seemed like a biopic of Rosa, but it just happened to be a Doctor episode. You got the Doctor Who fun and quirks and alien stuff. So yeah, number 2, Rosa. Which brings us to number 1, It Takes You Away. I love this episode. It reminded me so much of a Douglas Adams story. It was really, really wacky. The ideas that were thrown out really worked. The horror themes, it reminded me of Stranger Things. It had this real like creepy mystery. It explores scenes of sort of temptation, you know. Graham gets a really amazing arc of figuring out whether like obviously this is great or not, and this is just a real gut wrench, and it's horrible to go through that with him. When we see Graham go through it, and obviously all the companions as well, and the Doctor, who obviously watched Grace die, and it'd be interesting to see if Ryan had gone through that, but I think that probably would have been too much. I think if it was Graham and Ryan, I don't know if they would have come back through the world. I'm not too sure. There's so many themes that play with like horror and obviously grief and death, and it explores it so well, and I just really love it. The young girl plays a really great part, and obviously at the end I think she can sense it more because she's not visually tempted as thinking, oh my god, this is my mother, and she gets obviously that raw instinct. So that was really nice coming into play, and her and Ryan have a really nice kind of story arc through the episode. It really ticked the boxes for me. It was fun, it was scary. Obviously people are going to say, what about the frog? I thought the frog was fine. I understand people saying that, oh, it could have been Susan, it could have been this, it could have been that to tempt the Doctor. It gives it character, this universe. If it put Susan or someone, the Doctor would just gone straight away like, bye-bye, see you later. But I love the talk with the Doctor, talking to the frog. There were scenes like that in the series where the Doctor is sort of explaining how the universe is great and people are great and blah, blah, blah. This one really ticks all the boxes of that. It's a real emotionally charged scene. I think Jodie gives a stellar performance, really nice. Horror stuff visually and on paper, really great supporting characters. The ideas it explores and executes are just done to a T. And there's a really emotional punch, of course, with Graham and Ryan at the end as well, another great example. When he eventually calls him Grandad. See, that would have been perfect, and it's a much better wrapping up of the Death of Grace story arc, which was basically the arc of Series 11. There was no like vote Saxon or Bad Wolf or anything like that. It literally just was the Death of Grace, and that was the kind of story arc. And it was so much better tied up in It Takes You Away than the finale itself. Which is a shame, but this episode delivers, and I think it's pumping on all cylinders. Yeah, I really love this one. So there you go, that's my Series 11 episode rankings. There'll probably be some people agreeing and some people not, but again, it's my opinions. And that might fluctuate, you know, some of them might change around, but at this current time, obviously the series did air quite a few months ago now, so I've kind of had that time to step away from it. But I'd love to see your list in the comment section below. Really great to continue the conversation that we started down there. Obviously be nice and fair to everybody. But that's a great thing about Doctor Who and TV and film. It's all subjective. People have their own opinions and own takes on it. And it's nice to share that with everyone else as well. So as always, guys and girls, thank you very much for watching. Please comment, like, and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Links to that stuff in description below. Again, please comment down below your Series 11 rankings for each episode. Is there any rankings you'd like me to do? Any Series 11 videos? Or even Series 12 kind of what I'd like to see video, which I mentioned at the beginning. Anything like that, any traders, let me know in the comment section below. We'd love to hear what you would like to see from this channel going forward in 2019. So as always, guys, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye bye!